Hello, amazing learners. Are you ready to unlock a secret that explains how a small change can create a giant ripple effect in our economy? Today, we're diving into something super powerful, something that can make your brain light up. With understanding the multiplier effect in macroeconomics, get ready to feel like an economic wizard because this concept is truly mind-blowing and surprisingly simple once you grasp it. Imagine this: you spend a little money, and suddenly that money doesn't just disappear. It keeps going, creating more and more activity. Isn't that fascinating? It's like magic. But it's pure economics and understanding. It will give you an incredible edge in understanding the world around you. Let's start our journey to unravel this economic marvel, step by step, in a way that's easy and fun. Introduction: what is the multiplier effect? The multiplier effect is a concept in macroeconomics that explains how an initial change in spending, investment, or government expenditure can lead to a much larger change in aggregate demand and national income. It's essentially about how money circulates in an economy, creating a chain reaction. Think of it like this: one person's spending becomes another person's income, who then spends a portion of that income, and so on. This process continues, magnifying the original spending. Let's break it down with a simple example. Suppose the government decides to invest 100 million in building a new bridge. This initial investment isn't just 100 million. It actually stimulates the economy by more than that amount. How? The construction company that receives the $100 million will use it to pay its workers, buy materials, and invest in equipment. The workers, in turn, will spend a portion of their wages on food, housing, entertainment, and other goods and services. The businesses that receive this money will then spend it further, creating even more income for others. This cycle of spending and respending is the core of the multiplier effect. Body, how does it work? To understand the multiplier effect more deeply, we need to introduce a key concept: the marginal propensity to consume, or MPC. The MPC is the proportion of an additional dollar of income that a consumer spends rather than saves. For example, if your MPC is 0.8, it means that for every extra dollar you earn, you will spend 80 cents and save 20 cents. The higher the MPC, the larger the multiplier effect will be. The formula for the simple spending multiplier is 1 MPC. Let's use our previous example. If the government invests $100 million and the MPC is 0.8, then the multiplier would be 0.8, 0.25. This means that the initial $100 million investment could lead to a total increase in national income of 500 million, 100 million, 5. Isn't that incredible? Let's trace this step by step. The initial 100 million is spent. The recipients of this 100 million are workers. Suppliers then spend 80% of it, which is $80 million. The recipients of this $80 million then spend 80% of that, which is $64 million. This process continues, with each round of spending being smaller than the last, but the cumulative effect is significant. This sequential chain of spending is what makes the multiplier so powerful. Another important concept related to the multiplier effect is the marginal propensity to save, or MPS. This is the proportion of an additional dollar of income that a consumer saves rather than spends. The relationship is simple: MPC, MPS 1. So if your MPC is 0.8, your MPS is 0.2. The multiplier can also be expressed as 1 MPS. Both formulas give the same result and highlight the interconnectedness of spending and saving in the economy. The multiplier effect isn't just about government spending. It applies to any autonomous change in spending, such as an increase in investment by businesses, an increase in exports, or a decrease in taxes. For instance, if a large company decides to build a new factory, the investment in that factory will generate income for construction workers, material suppliers, and various service providers. These individuals and businesses will then spend a portion of their new income, leading to further rounds of spending and income generation, all fueled by the initial investment. However, it's important to remember that the multiplier effect is not always perfectly realized in the real world. Several factors can influence its magnitude. For example, if a significant portion of the increased income is saved or used to purchase imported goods, the domestic multiplier effect will be smaller. Taxes also play a role if a large portion of new income is collected. As taxes, less will be available for spending, thus reducing the multiplier. Furthermore, if there are supply constraints in the economy, meaning businesses cannot easily increase production to meet increased demand, the multiplier effect might lead more to inflation than to increased output. Conclusion: why is the multiplier effect important? The multiplier effect is a fundamental concept in macroeconomics because it helps us understand how economic policies can impact the overall economy. Governments and central banks use this understanding to design fiscal policies, such as increasing or decreasing government spending and taxes to stimulate or slow down economic activity. For instance, during a recession, a government might increase its spending to boost aggregate demand and encourage economic growth, leveraging the multiplier effect to achieve a larger impact than the initial spending might suggest. Understanding the multiplier effect helps us see beyond the immediate impact of an economic action. It shows us that every dollar spent or saved has broader implications for national income, employment, and overall economic health. It's a powerful tool for analyzing economic fluctuations and for crafting effective economic strategies. So the next time you hear about a large government project or a major business investment, you'll know that its impact on the economy will likely be much bigger than its initial cost. Thanks to the amazing multiplier effect? Wasn't that exhilarating? You've just mastered a key economic principle that many find challenging. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep unlocking these fascinating secrets of the economic world. You're doing great. Here are the important English vocabulary words from the script with their Korean explanations. Unlock, 잠금 해제하다 밝혀내다. Secret, 비밀, giant ripple effect, 거대한 파급 효과. Macroeconomics, 거시경제학. Multiplier effect, 승수효과. Economic wizard, 경제 마법사. Mind, 매우 놀라운 충격적인. Grasp, 이해하다 파악하다. Disappear, 사라지다. Circulate, 순환하다. Chain reaction, 연쇄 반응. Magnifying, 확대하는. Initial, 초기의. Investment, 투자. Government expenditure, 정부 지출. Aggregate demand, 공수요. National income, 국민소득. Stimulatives, 자극하다. Construction company, 건설회사. Waget, 임금. Materials, 투자재. Equipment, 장비. Services, 서비스. core, 핵심. Marginal propensity to consume MPC, 항해 소비 성향. Proportion, 비율. Additional dollar, 추가적인 $1. Spends, 소비하다. Save, 저축하다. Formula, 공식. Simple spending multiplier, 단순 지출 승수. Cumulative effect, 누적 효과. Significant, 상당한, 중요한. Sequential chain, 순차적인 사슬. Powerful, 강력한. Marginal propensity to save MPS, 항해 저축 성향. Relationship, 관계. Interconnectedness, 상호 연결성. Autonomous change, 자율적인 변화. Exports, 수출. Decreases, 감소하다. Taxes, 세금. Factory, 공장. Generate income, 소득을 창출하다. Suppliers, 공급업체. Service providers, 서비스 제공업체. Magnitude, 규모, 크기. Imported goods, 수입품. Domestic, 국내에. Supply constraints, 공급 제약.